Okay, how much does violence against women cost the Canadian economy? About $4 billion a year. Let's talk about it on Goldhawk Live.
There's many levels to it as well. I mean,
Yeah.
From where I sit as a family law lawyer, I see them oftentimes at a place where they've already tapped into some resources in the community, and because of that resource, they then learn of their legal rights, and then they come to my attention. I'm able to help them take the necessary steps to protect themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But oftentimes, for every person that I meet, there's dozens, if not hundreds, of women who have been living in abusive relationships, who don't know of the community resources and don't know of their legal rights.
Who never get to you.
That's right. Even before we get to the point where they became empowered enough to be able to leave, many of them would stay in these abusive relationships for years, for a variety of reasons. One primarily being economic. They simply cannot afford to move out, and if they could move out, then they wouldn't be able to move out with their children, and they certainly don't want to put their kids at risk, leaving the kids with the abuser, so they simply stay there. And they hope that today or tomorrow will be a better day than last week. Families where the women are abused and there's children involved. Yeah. If these kids go to school and so much as speak to their teacher's assistant, or an adult who can overhear what this children may have witnessed at home, before you know it, it may very well be that a Children's Aid Society worker visits the house, and then pressure, in many cases, is placed upon the mother to vacate with the children. And in the event that she does not, and the Children's Aid Society is of the view that the kids are at harm, at risk of being hurt, because of, say, some history that occurred in the family, they might say, look, if you don't leave the house with the children, then we might have to apprehend the children from you. So then here's another intervention. You've got two categories of abused women, amongst others. There are those that have the means to equip themselves with the right professional advice, and you have those that don't. But even before we get to that point economically, when somebody is in an abusive relationship, they don't see things the way a very sober, relaxed, unencumbered person may. They are in a state where they are basically fighting for their own emotional, if not physical, survival. So I could be in front of them explaining to them what their legal rights are and how it is that we can actually make their lives financially and legally so much better. But they might be hearing something very different because of all of the problems that they've had to withstand.